Okay, we are just going to go for the Henry reaction, which also sometimes called a natural Aldol reaction. You have done the Aldol tutorials. You will see so it's very similar to an Aldol reaction in recur and condensation onto a carbonyl and forming a carbon-carbon single bond. This can be followed by dehydration and stuff my typical things that could happen to an elder reaction, but I think the main thing is to take in from the hen reaction is that we give this beta natural alcohol here and the beta net now alcohols can go off to give lots of other different compounds. For example, which reduce that down to the L means so we have got a amino alcohol. We can have oxidation here, two carbonyl compounds. Or if one lose a proton back say hydrogen which taking then gonna to a carboxylic acid, and then we have entering the area of amino acid derivatives and things like so you can go see that there kinds of compounds are very useful intermediates. Have you all have longer natural products or other things drugs and things like that says a very powerful reaction. Now the reaction will over 100 years and it's be used intensively in synthesis. I came across later on that but it's very similar to the elder reaction just with natural groups. So here we go, let's have a look for the mechanism. So we take a natural alkene down. We will just use the example there and I will just put proton on here in blue. Now these protons probably go pKa in the area of about 10. Some just need a little base really. I will call it base. Look that plus on that nickel brought on level rest on there. But obviously the pK of that's gonna go down in if she has got some more stabilizing groups or a carbon aldehyde or a ester or sometimes like that. Okay, so the first thing to do is deeper browse now. Do I not say always use the equilibrium loss when necessary, and that's simply because it's quite important to realize that the things to go backwards and forward, especially if you look at byproducts. So I draw those equilibrium. So the next step is I draw the carbonyl and again. So the next step is simple addition to that carbonyl now. As you probably find there's a lot of simplification and that I go through when I'm doing this mechanism. This can just to understand the process itself. So I want to go about the angle of attack. They are all the antibonding orbitals. That's all fully being covered in other tutorials in a bit more detail. So we attack here now the angle of attack. I'm going to talk about an arm is that down if you look at the Aldol reaction and the Aldol mechanism is and the stereochemistry tutorial. It will be very similar to this if you add some kind of Newman projection for this. You have just see have the steric hydrogens of some of these groups can be influenced the actual stereochemistry of this position later. But I won't go into that now. See this simply as here is equilibrium, which means it can go backwards leading to go byproducts. So that gives us this alcohol which picks up a proton here. 2R in basic conditions will pick up a proton from the base from the conjunctive acid of the best, so we have just go get over 3. Now I did mention, and there is a protein that was up originally as well, so just to show you they have got your new chiral center. They are just rulers set in and the new chiral center. Here you will have both in enantiomers and disasterous almost. From the invention appear from the diastereomers, so you will have, but you may put any down in the chiral or GC if it is small enough to have a look at that, or even NMR. You will be spread all over the place, so that the problem very simple reaction. Remember that the proton on here as well, so that was remembering that this is coming into attack, but it's really part and signal, so that made just gone down a little bit, inspect some business for all of your tanks. The carbon is almost sp2, that is flat ash, but it won't be completely flat because they are spelling tall resonance. So it's probably pretty good to draw this flat, and if you draw that as a typical Newman projection, like that call old Roy does the resonance for me down, you don't have to do that. Should be a charge on here. Yeah. So, and that's because I'm not drawing it like this anyway, so this should be a negative charge on the oxygen over here in this position. I could have a negative charge in the middle, so you can see that I want to probably sit here the hydrogen, which doesn't occupy much space in sitting between these two groups here, and this is a lot of tanks are bad give you some idea of the ritual of which disastereomers you should see, because of course it at all in gray and alternative, so to that structure if we keep alternative to that structure if we keep the carbon I will attack, it would give a different stereochemical outcome here, but one going to think detail have a look at the aldol reaction and the stereochemistry of the aldol reaction to get a good idea of how you can actually influence how you can do asymmetrical reaction using catalysts to actually induce that the way you want it to go. And there is be lots of work done on that. I'm not gonna add the force on that for the Henry irrigation. Let's go to the Henry action, the thing to take home from the immigration in this product, and now and how it can be used to make other products such as the air means the carbon or the carboxylic acid and so on, which are very useful for organic synthesis of natural products and drugs and things like that, so that it is a Henry reaction.